So I'm sure you're all dying to know here as you watch the PEL Phase 2. Since our previous interview did conclude, Froz has gone to see Endgame during that time. So Froz, you anticipated it living up to the hype. Did it live up to the hype? Please tell me.
I mean, it was good.
Good?
Yeah.
It was really good. No?
Let's not talk about that. Let's talk about the games instead, okay?
All right, okay then. If you really want it.
Yeah. We're moving on to another Erangel game. What are your thoughts, Mark, about the next game here?
I'm hoping to see a Winstrike win, honestly. I want to see a record-breaking day of Winstrike. That's going to put them into a great spot. They're currently sitting only 3 points behind NIP. So there could be some shake-ups there in the middle pack or in our top of the middle pack. And we could see some changes at the bottom patrol. TSM, they didn't hold the stand, the push against Liquid.
Yeah.
And if they came out on top there, if they won that, they would have gotten a placement point from that. They would have gotten 4 kills from that. And I was hoping to see them defend that a bit better than they ended up doing.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely need to step up the game. And what we've seen from TSM the past weeks, I'd say, is not what we've been expecting ever since we saw them. In the first weeks, they were pretty strong. And they've just gone a little bit downward, sadly.
Yeah. 11 points from TSM to Ratio Edge, though. That's one good game from Ratio Edge and one mediocre or bad game from TSM, and they're going to be swapping spots. I actually talked to Yannick last week, and he told me that he was actually hoping that they would drop down from the 5th spot, because that would be a further motivation for the guys going into the last 3 weeks. They would grind even harder, they would put even more effort into everything, but I definitely think that the pressure is on them. I think they're feeling it. And that's also why we talked about it in this last game, that they didn't keep the 2-2 split. Usually we see them be a bit more greedy into the mid-late game, and here they joined up as 4 and played as a unit, or tried to at least.
But it was a little bit too passive. I want to see them more aggressive. Even if they group up like that, they need to be proactive, making sure that no one else is actually crashing them, and making sure that they take a little bit more control around them, and knowing where all the enemies are, what are the threats, and how do we deal with it.
James?
Keep going, Froz. I just wanted to see how long I could not talk after you stole my hosting duties at the beginning of the segment. But Froz to talk about the games. I don't want to talk about Endgame. Endgame was kind of a game. It has game in the title.
Brexco. 2 more kills.
2 more kills. Will be 100.
Not as fast as Rustama, but
no, indeed. It's been it's been more even this phase, though, right? I think it's fair to say. I think all of the teams have kind of, in terms of, they felt each other out pretty well. Even though we have a very top-heavy top 4, at least, beyond that, there is very even kind of semblance in the rest of the teams.
I would definitely say that in Phase 1, we had some teams that were very far behind. They have made some changes, stepped up. We saw 2 new teams come in as well. But there's still a big gap. I would say you can see here our top 4, big gap.
Yeah.
I think they're far ahead of the competition, very far ahead of the competition. Then we have a very big middle pack in Europe, very, very big middle pack. And then we have, I would say, currently our bottom of PEL and a big top pack of the contenders that are kind of in the same group
big
of
top packing contenders.
Yeah, very, very big top pack that could contest, and I think that's why we're going to see some very interesting relegation matches. I honestly doubt that more than 1 team will retain their spot after
I think it might be 2, but I mean, looking at the contenders teams, they are really strong right now. And
they're hungry.
And
they
the bottom
want
teams,
to come here.
The bottom teams here in PEL doesn't seem to be that hungry.
They're hungry, but I don't feel like they're as hungry, and they're not going to be able to do as much research compared to their contender counterparts. And as well, we talked about it a few times, the contender guys, they're going to be coming in here. They've just been playing for 4 weeks with 11 of the other teams.
Sure.
And they're most likely going to be watching the PEL while they're not playing themselves to see how they're doing.
I think it's more likely the contender teams would studiously watch Pro League than it is that the Pro League
100%.
teams would studiously watch
Yeah,
contenders.
definitely.
Right?
And at the same time, as you said, the PEL C teams, they've been playing against each other, they know each other, they don't need to do so much research on those teams. But when it comes to the PEL teams, they only have 4 teams that need to research. And if you can just focus on 4 teams, it's going to be so much easier to try to read them, what they do, and how they work as a team.
With the final game coming up here for the day, any aspirations as to who you think may take the crown here for this final game?
I'm still hoping Winstrike.
You think
just because I want to see them make a record-breaking day, and they deserve it compared to how they've been playing today. They could easily jump up to joining Ratio Edge to be a contester for that.
Well, third first would be immaculate. It would be extremely impressive.
Not a lot of like very high kill games, but if we see another decent kill game, they're going to be contesting for some of the best kind of four-day games.
FaZe is going to take the 8th victory on Erangel.
Would it be 8?
Yep.
Jeez Louise. Well, we shall find out here as we are ready for the final game. It's game number 64. The plane descends once again onto Erangel. Thank you very much, gentlemen. It's time to head over to Sims and Pansy for our final game of the day here at PEL Phase 2.
Thank you, and it has been quite the day so far. Winstrike, incredible performance. And you know what? I'd love to see him pick up a win here.
It would be good. Go for the hat-trick in a day. They give him some much-needed points.
FaZe?
I believe they've actually moved up into...
FaZe? Hold on. Where are FaZe going?
They did this last week, and they ended up being... And it went their way. They were playing around the liquid compounds, if you will call it. The ones where you can straight off the bridge and then linger. If the
How
circle
many
goes
times
to
do we
you,
see it on this circle?
and you know what? There's been a fair few milli-circles. It's certainly worth the gamble.
My word, this could be... Oh, okay, here we go. So Reciprocity, obviously, we're one of the newer additions to Sosnovka Island. They switched things up. It's gone well for them. That's been a nice adjustment. Now, FaZe is a bit of a...
If this pays off, I'll be stunned.
I wouldn't even be surprised. The amount of melee base... But look, Scoom's out there nicking cars, which is a nice little idea. He's going to gather them up. The circle's the big thing, isn't it, Rich?
Yep. Depending on where it goes, could write their position in game number 4 of today. We get one up in the north. It's going to be a long transition. Should it come down on Sosnovka, that is going to be absolutely bloody fabulous for them. They'll be loving life. TSM will also... Okay, it doesn't. And now they have to be very careful. So there are a couple of options here, and we'll discuss them all at length and where teams are going to be going. Unity need to be very aware that they're going to have G2 and TSM kicking it around there, so you have to be really careful. The main problem comes from Reciprocity. They now have a team on Sosnovka Island that they didn't anticipate or didn't expect that they had to take up against the wall. And the problem is that they can hold them back. They could basically just hold the line, create a wall, and unfortunately, they might kill them on transition. It's going to be really difficult. Yeah. The added bonus and benefit is that FaZe Clan might have to get out early and just go for it, rather than creating a wall and holding back Reciprocity. Go and get some boats. There is an option here, as weird and wonderful and extremely long as it sounds, to get boats and transition up on the west coast. Maybe come in on that west coast around, you know, the left of the Gatka fields, and hope that NIP has already gone early and moved out of Georgia Paul and kicks it somewhere in the circle. There is a way out of this and there is a way into it.
Yeah.
It depends, though, who goes away from the bridges first. Na'Vi do tend to linger here, and
but they don't
really
bridge camp.
No, they don't.
That's the one thing I will say. In either way you cut it, when it is a military circle, for example, they don't really set up there. The amount of times you'll see Liquid, for example, shooting across super early, Na'Vi don't blink an eye. I do feel they probably won't be doing, won't be setting up for this. They like to look for their own plan.
Well, right?
Yeah, exactly. We don't see it being a common factor. If they had a full reader and a reason why to do it, maybe you'd see it. But I don't see that happening here. It's not something that's very common. They've got their own things to think about.
It's not like they need the points either
no,
for Na'Vi.
They're fine.
TSM, there is potential there.
Sure.
They're still around that.
There's method to the madness.
Do or die kind of position. They could, knowing there's 3 teams on there, maybe even thinking ahead of the game, okay, where FaZe gone, they might end up forcing Reciprocity to re-rotate on the opposing bridge. So there is potential for collateral on that eastern bridge, and maybe TSM take full advantage. But again, as you mentioned with Na'Vi, they're the same boat. They don't bridge camp.
No, it's just not done. And obviously Na'Vi don't know it's FaZe. They have no idea. So it'd only be a bit of a surprise if it happens. Right now, though, we are seeing Liquid. I can't even talk. Blimmin' hell. It has been a week off. Liquid on the move early. Not too surprising. They like that. They'll put 2 players out quite quickly, get a nice little compound, nice footing somewhere, and the other 2 will eventually join them. Now, beyond that, looking at this, we've seen a lot of these circles end up kind of where DA currently reside, that sort of area. So I wonder, because if it went further west, I'm sure we'd see about 50 teams already heading towards the hill, towards the mountain, towards Everest, whatever you like to call it. But this actually plays pretty nicely for most teams. FaZe are about to make the bridge cross, and there is no setup to greet them from Na'Vi. Senya's way further back. Pokemon is over towards the east of it. It's not going to happen. So they should be safe on passage. I wonder where FaZe go, because this is a different rotation route, different timing. They may not be so hyper aware of this sort of approach, so I'd be interested to see if that's a knock-on effect. And again, it's the same thing. When we talk about, bridge camping and how viable it is, the fact is that it slows you down so much, and it's not necessarily a clean pickup for you either. It does hinder your progress and your plan going into it, and the points aren't always worth it in that regard. Now, that's a nice little that's a very nice upgrade, and that's a big pickup. Already the square houses paying dividends. Set went through a little bit of a play. He's with CrowCrowd, who are up in Severny still, so he was trying to get early to this, maybe trying to catch those teams going out of Georgia Pole, maybe just fancied this. Didn't go well.
Could be a key set of compounds. It is a transitional area, especially with that bridge, and locks down the trifecta of roads. I'm just about to say, for FaZe, they could probably do what they would normally do should it be a hard western circle. They would transition all the way down on the southern road along the coastline and then come in and swing in above Prim just before Quarry area, go up through the long woods, and then find a footing and find a foothold. Where they actually land in the circle to kind of take the fight and set up, that's the different question that everyone's kind of asking at the moment. GAC is open, but it's certainly not central at all.
No.
It's not great.
But can they expect to get central at this point?
There is potential here for Pachinki, the backside of it at least, the church area, maybe to be taken by a team, and expect the farms just outside of the church to get a team sitting in there. You've got the flat top buildings, the garage, and then you have that huge hangar, which gives you a lot of coverage.
Yep.
You've got a lot of, like, there's a good area there that you have the little dumpster truck with the backside of it open. You then have the rocks that are around, you've got the crevices. Even from there, playing off the back of that little farmland area and that hangar area, there's some really good ground coverage that you can use and utilize. Liquid will know it well, and just beyond there, you then drop off into a really large ridge line, which lands in the little yellows at the bottom, and Liquid are going to be open arms waiting for anyone to pass by. Funnily enough, we're just talking about it. There it is on your right-hand side, further down.
Yeah. I think the next circle... Another CrowCrowd member, the pre-fire on Mikas, he was not letting that get away at all, was he? As soon as he heard those steps coming in, door open, nah.
Just appreciate, Lauren, where he is as well. He went early with nothing. He took a vehicle and said, okay, boys, I'll go get a foothold here and find a position that we can set up at. There are quite priority buildings, I want to say, just above Roshok. They're looking downhill. They give you a good amount of viewership over Ros, a good overwatch, and be able to read the lay of the land. You then got options. You've got 3, maybe even 4 bridges, if you want to call it, to cross that snaky river, should you want to do it and should the circle come down. But it was a good play from Mikas. He then stood his ground, been able to take a frag.
Wait, Na'Vi just got a bit of a glimpse of the Knights. Realtor's very close by. And that's another couple of teams diving in on this. I don't think that was... That's a nice nade. Good work from Senya. Snark's trying to find one back, but they're playing against hard cover here. This is in the north of Pachinki. The Knights are over towards the northeast side. Na'Vi control the kind of west, the smaller little compound out in the fields, the sort of farmland. Senya's got himself up on some high ground as well, maybe trying to find an angle on reels or to make sure no one can get that revive. That's called off Snark and whiffs the shots like a champion. But the point is that that could have been way more deadly. Obviously with X around, it's way easier for us to see all of this. That's not the case for Na'Vi.
It's really easy for us to sit here and say, I kind of told you so, but there is still that thought in the back of my mind. Is literally 10 seconds ago, were we speaking about this place is open, this could be a potential for a fight?
Yeah.
Reels unfortunately doesn't check it and has paid the price. The nades are doing the damage. There's also shots from behind, unless the Knights just popping some cover, but I very much doubt it. One more bullet, and unfortunately Reels will be saying bye-bye.
Not yet.
I think it's good. I think he's up for now. Hit the deck, get the med off, get yourself back to fully 100% health. Away we go again, Live to fight another day. Best of luck does fall back, so you can just keep up a pivotal point there, and eyes on the prize. All right, church is full. Let's go find somewhere else.
Yeah, it looks like they're peeling off this one. It's not a bad plan. Maybe try and get some sort of step in towards Pachinki itself. They fancy it. The circle's very undecided for now as well. We really don't know where it's going to go. The next circle could be a way bit, a lot more damning on the teams, but you can see no one's really fully committing anywhere. Obviously, a lot of teams around the Pachinki roads kind of leading in and out. That's interesting. Look at that southern side.
Wow, that is a swing and a half. Well, let's take a look who's going to have the pick of the bunch here. Rec will be able to take that major compound in the center of all of this.
Look at that G2 split as well.
G2 are ready for it.
That's big from Chris and Adir. That's huge.
It's high risk, high reward. If
Yeah.
it had gone the other way, think of how out of it they would be
They
and
can
how
fight
far
for
behind.
compounds, yeah.
Yeah, and now because they took the chance, they took the opportunity. Again, FaZe Clan, it's kind of paid out for them as their initial drop onto Sosnovka because it's not too far from where they started, and they've been able to go to just below Gatka where the chopsticks are. They can take all of that main road now and deny any entry point. Pretty much from where they are, you look down to the south and over to the west. The west is an open field from Gatka. Nobody can get at you from there. It's just picking fields. You'll see people in vehicles. So behind them is entirely safe. No one's going to be set up there.
But Rich, Winstrike, a slap bang in the middle. This ain't bad for them. Okay, yeah, they got Team Liquid and IP on the other side of them, but it was never going to be easy. That's a real good circle for them. This, hey, if it's going to happen, this could be the circle for it.
We've not seen any real engagement so far. Everyone's going to have utility. Everybody's going to have gear. We've got a good circle. Really no water unless you want to kind of collapse the pond up top. So this one is going to go down to the wire. Again, the problem being all these fields that are around those chopsticks area. You can't get at these teams. So taking residency in a shack, a building, a compound, a key compound, I would say, is going to be vital going forward because you're going to have to crash and you're going to have to fight.
Okay, level 3's being picked up.
Double drop.
Oh, TSM, are they going to get 2 out of this? I think, yeah, Wookie's found that too. That's beautiful for TSM.
No sniper. Oh, I want to see him with a bolt action.
He's got a
That'd have been
Kar 98.
beautiful. No, I meant in the crate. It'd been nice to see him.
You can't have it all,
Give him
Rich.
Wookie and arm, though. Make my day.
Nah. Too OP, too strong. That's G2 in their split, laying down some fire. And speaking of splits, Team Liquid, one kind of collective of the group south of Ruins in that little kind of shacks we saw them going up to first. And the others in between Na'Vi and Winstrike. You can see them there, the other two. So massive 2-2 for them.
4 SLRs. Good lord, all 4 players just looking down. Liquid in the distance, you did touch on it. Gaxi also with an SLR of his own. Getting eyes on the prize here. Can see what Swadden just passed the information. Uh-oh,
We've
Shadow.
seen enough. No nades unwanted, though. That could have been the perfect time for a nade.
Why is he there? That's a really bizarre place to pull up.
Hasn't seen Jazzy yet either. So the Knights, they had Na'Vi on one side before. Na'Vi have shuffled. It's given the Knights more room, but obviously it's less central ground wanted. Praying these shots to hit. Gets the tag. That's not bad. Shadow's down to very little HP, but he has managed to stay alive.
I still don't understand the play, though. Pulling up there. I suppose maybe if he was just scouting, then that's fine, but to instantly just bail from the vehicle. Speaking of bailing from vehicles, 6mo. Squeaky sees him and puts him down, dead to rights, job done. Also lay down some more offensive fire. Try and redirect the rest of Digital Athletics, maybe even redirect him into the rest of ENCE, to be honest. They have set up completely along that road, that snaking road just below the mountain, full of teams, and to the north we kind of go. More
TSM, Unity, they were late on rotations. They've been playing Edge anyway. DA, ENCE, somewhat similar. Raise Your Edge are just coming through Georgia Pole. Where have they been? What mission did they go on in the blue? But they will make it in, but they might just arrive on towards DA. This could be an awkward bit of timing for them. This does play well again for Winstrike. All those teams who are towards the east of Gatka, around the chopsticks, around the V, whatever you want to call it, very good positioning. But it's going to get very busy. CrowCrowd are now there. FaZe Clan have turned up 2-2 for them. NIP have put VAR down on one side as well. He's patrolling around. So again, there's a lot going on in this area.
I'd be disappointed to see any team try and set up shop and residency in Ruins. I think that really is the road to ruin because you'll be basically boxed in on that ridgeline that just drops off from it. I'd be very surprised if Vitality went any deeper into it because you're asking to die in the next circle. There's only one way out of this, and it's rough ground and rough terrain, so I think going towards Ruins is a really ballsy and quite dangerous play. You have Liquid just overwatching from the yellows outside of this. If M19 overextend too far, they will be punished. They have to be careful. Those yellows now are priority. Teams will be looking onwards at them, so Liquid have to fight up the life. But more about the center work. Fuzzface has decided to run off into the chopsticks all the way down, so he's completely away from the rest of FaZe Clan. But a team is knocking at the door.
It's mirrored, though. You've got the exact same thing for NIP. They have 3 of their players up towards the north of it. FaZe have somewhat similar, and it's, VOD's in the opposite side. It is a mirrored approach, and it's not a bad plan at all. Of course, it does get you a lot of attention. It's dangerous, but it happens. Razor Edge skirting the foot of the mountain, trying to find their route in. They've either got ENCE, DA, or M19 to get past, and it looks like we've got a pull-up here. That's towards Liquid. Samti's found Dastish, but there's a trade. Samti's gone down. That's Jorski on the knock, and Orange with the kill. Ibby finds a window and just slaps the little boy outside of it. Gets not allowed in this building, all right? This is his. Can't come in here. But the split has kind of worked for now for Liquid. They still have 2 other players alive, but they are very far away. They're on the way over now. Jeems and Gemty have just arrived.
It was a quick response. Not quick enough, unfortunately. They do lose a player, but that's absolutely fine because they pick up 2 in return. So 2 points for 1 player, and they still hold that building. Gives them another emergency backup plan should we have some weird and wonderful circle shift. They've moved away from the yellows now. This actually pays off for Vitality, to be fair. They can move into them and set up residency and then look across. Razor Edge is still having difficulties here. Struggling to really find a foothold. They're at the bottom of the mountain and really it's just play your edge. This is very slow from them. Maybe they didn't expect such a hard shift coming through when they went down past the George Paul area, but...
Oops.
You okay there?
Yeah, I'm just dropping things.
Everything's fine. This is fine.
Oh, NIP started to try and linger across. It looked like they tried to go over towards Winstrike's position. So Winstrike have dug their heels in here. They still have all 4 players standing. Gaxi tried to make it across. Miraku did join him. NBS and VOD a little later, a little bit further back. And now DA are just sending it. You've got Unity sending it. Team Liquid looking for the next compound.
Are they going to ditch it?
This is going to be dangerous. They're all going towards the shack. It looks like Gemty's about to try and get there on his own. He might have to try and avert course. He is. Look at that. ENCE swings away. No longer available. Unity beat him to the punch. Where is DA going here?
Ditches. They have to surely hit the ditches. Nowhere else to go. Yep, they dive on in. Ira with an orb. All right, mate. Fair play. Might be the downfall of FaZe. Should be able to get a pick. Jorski in the kill feed on VOD. He goes down. SLR to the face. Easy pickings for that one. Ira's still got this card to play off the back of.
Mexi's down there.
Is waiting. Finally, he lets rip, but it's not going to find any kind of frag, so the game is given up, but it at least keeps them at bay. NIP struggling a little bit here. It looks like they tried to make something happen. But the pure amount of 7.62 in range coming from Winstrike is...
ENCE are about to crash towards NIP. They're on the other side of it. ENCE are about to turn up as well. Spin that second camera around. You'll see it. There it is. Mikas finds NBS. They did not expect a team here. M19 are doing the same thing as well. There's that Orm in play. Mexi receives the bullet to the brain and down he goes. But the trades are coming through. ENCE sweeping forward. NIP are looking worse for wear. VOD's still on the heel. Gaxi and Miraku trying to recover off their fight with Winstrike. And then they've got a Finn on either side. And that's not a place you want to be right now. Miraku's suffering and ENCE have turned up in force.
DA just... tapping him away as well. This could be Gaxi going down from 3 different angles. Miracle crawling. I think he's down and dead. Nothing much he can do. The Finns will mop him up and take the 3 point unless that grenade just taps him. Winstrike finish it off. Gaxi in a very difficult position here, but do they know VOD's there? I don't think ENCE realized that VOD's still in this building behind them.
No, probably not. Gaxi gets instantly turned on. Perfect
response.
place. VOD has struck back, though. That's what we were talking about, is do they know his position? Now they do.
They're all weak.
The nade is good as well. That will definitely get Mikas. It won't get Truthfully. He's still alive. But then suddenly, so animated, looking for that way forward. But here comes the crash. M19 turned up towards FaZe. M19 pushing forward, finding Mexi. Mexi's gone down, and that's a flush. No, he found first FaZe as well. D-Mash is going off. FaZe have just been ripped apart.
That's the strength of the barrel. Up close and personal, 7.62 has just annihilated 2 FaZe players up close and personal. Rustenman now forced to advert his attention to VOD. I think they
Razor Edge just turned up
a little bit inside there, not realizing that VOD was there, so he didn't clear it out. Fast Rail with the M24 looking towards the side of Winstrike, maybe just force their hand back and say, okay, we take a pick, we knock you down, Squeaky. Does take the angle. The off angle to be precise. Tagged up, but not knocked. Scarring hand with a red dot. It's going to be lethal at this range. Gustav with the knock and the instant confirmation there. So that's another... Oh, we've got 2 crates in play, I'm forgetting. There's going to be level 3s galore on the side of TSM. They're picking up points. Squeaky now to Fast Rail. That sniper rifle's gone. And he's completely just separated from the rest of his team on that rock. Those nades, though, could be good.
Could. But yeah, that one is, you're gonna see so many nades coming in. Right, the Knights have just gone down. That's over in the east. That's TSM cleaning that one out. They had G2 not too far off either. Nades are coming through.
It's a missile.
Screen.
It's on his head.
Oh
my
Manox! Of course it's VOD who just unleashed that bad boy. Chris now suddenly is in a very bad spot. He's trying to buy time, try to slow him down, but ENCE realize they're weak. It's go time. Squeaky, Rustamar. They are pushing this. The Finns are animated. They want to get in on it. Chris knows what's up. He denies Squeaky. Where's the trade back in? Where's the other ENCE player? Not this one. We wanted Rust. Oh, no. What has just gone on with this?
They're still fighting from the back lines. ENCE's gone down, so that's 3 members of FaZe falling side by side. Vard's got involved in this fight as well. Answers 2 back, Rust and Ma. At the moment, in the kill feed, it's just Raise Your Edge getting completely slaughtered from multiple different angles. Like, what's going on here? TSM onto G2. This is a different fight that's unfolding in the backlines, unfortunately for them. FaZe Clan do go down 15th place, but how they've been performing so far, you can afford a little bit of a wasted loss like that. DA also falling down, and still we move back to this battle going
Rich, let's say it right now. Open up the map stream to make sure you keep on top of all of these fights. Vitality just split apart. That's Chris from above. That's Vitality gone. That's still one of the Eastern battles. Na'Vi are folding towards TSM. Again, guys, make sure you open up that map stream if you want to keep tabs on all these fights. A lot is going on. It is tricky, but again, thank you for your patience. TSM trying to work their way forward. Na'Vi are on the horizon. Reciprocity in the south. In the northwest, it is not resolved yet. ENCE still there. Chris still there. Winstrike waiting in the wings. Team Liquid maintaining good position. They took over another shack. They found a new compound. This is M19 ages ago.
How did you see that kill? Like, he had no health and he just
Did you see that one?
smashed him in the... Oh, no. Okay, well, at least we're getting the replays up. You can see what's been going on further afield. That grenade, though, onto Senya. Michael just bops him. Down we go, and there could be follow-up as well. Bestaloch is forced to disengage. The angle that he was holding and actually keeping TSM at bay is now completely gone because of the damage that they've actually forced forward.
Yeah.
Just chilling in a shack.
Yeah, can we watch TSM Na'Vi? Because they're about to fight, and Chris is pushing back for some ungodly reason. Yes, the blue is moving ENCE forward, but this is the big one. There's Michael finding Bestaloch. No answer yet. It's Wookie moving forward towards a doozy. That means Na'Vi are now down to, I think, just Pokemolodoy. And yeah, he's the last man alive. Senya is back up on his feet, but barely. TSM are pushing this one out. M19 just eliminated CrowCrowd. That was over in the west. Winstrike looking for ENCE there in the field, trying to find a new way forward. But ENCE know there's that open road in front of them. Pokemolodoy goes down. Where's that heal for Senya? Has he not got any meds left? Is he out on his own? I think this could be a problem. ENCE have gone down. That's not surprising. They were sadly pushed out with that circle moving in. Senya is on the run. He did get a heal off, but he is now your last man alive.
Yeah, he just legged it. He said, nope, not having none of this in time to run. M19, they've got some smokes up. But honestly, I don't think this will do enough. Michael finally, nail on the head there for Na'Vi. Great knock from him to disengage and basically avert where Bestaloch was looking forward for. The rest of them do sweep through, and now Na'Vi is done. They're out. So some big names falling here simultaneously. Jeems does get a confirmation of a kill. Hacks onto the Wanderer. And again, M19, it's just open season. Shooting in the fields. Really, what can you do? This is just whoever can tag them first. Look, stolen.
Yep. Sneaky little thieves. Now, in the grand scheme of things, Winstrike and Reciprocity currently have all 4 players standing, so they're the ones to be looking at down the line. Reciprocity just leaving those southern compounds now, looking for that next step forward. TSM could swing their way, but they're being kept humble by Winstrike in the northwest. Everyone can see everyone kind of in this. It's very open terrain. You can see that big open field. Limited cover available. I want to see what Winstrike do. This compound is okay for now, but the next circle will obviously remove it from play. There's no way that's going to stay in. And the same can be said for Reciprocity. They now need to look at where they want to go. They can go towards TSM in the woods. They can try and work their way forward, but TSM still have a lot of gear to be working with.
But not a lot of ground.
No, and that's the issue. Raffi has just found the angle.
2 of them back to back. And Wookie's nowhere to be seen, so unfortunately that's going to be them. Done and dusted in my opinion. He's got level 3 gear, but there is no cover here. A burning cow and a bit of grass.
There he goes.
Rip.
Yep.
F.
And that's good for Reciprocity. Get them in the game. They need to start getting these kills in. And that also cleans up the eastern side. It means they can now focus on what's in front of them. They've taken over that eastern side hill. That's a really good split, actually. This is a good approach from Reciprocity. I don't mind it at all. Now, you got to look at Team Liquid. They've got the big split still with Gemty holding that central position. Very, very big for them. Unity playing the shack. That was originally what Gemty, I think, wanted to go to. And Winstrike yet to really make their move here.
The better thing for Rec is the fact that they've only got individuals in the middle. I say only individuals, it's Gemty. He's going to do enough damage as it is on his own. 2 members of Unity. But they've still got vehicles. They can still traverse this circle and go wherever it basically sends it. You can get men in the cars, and I can see him now in the distance just trying to hide these vehicles. Well, reversing uphill, fair enough. Whatever works, right?
Quick way down.
Aim it forward. I mean, he's hiding the tires. I get it.
Yeah.
They're just trying to keep, because once it's, regardless of where the circle goes, it's all downhill for them, and they've got a few trees to play with. They've got a ridge line, but hell, this circle should just take that completely away from them.
Yeah. Let's just see where this goes. It basically defines who's going to have good spot or not. Winstrike is still trying to shuffle their way forward, bring the cars up. They've only got this building, that's it. Okay, so centering up, you can see that I don't see any hard cover. I don't see, there's like one rock in front of Winstrike. They do have the crate drop, but they also have everyone's attention, and Ibi is banging out shots. Tixu receives that one, and Ibi looks towards the next position. This is actually quite tricky for Reciprocity. They have to get past Gemty and Unity, so they are not in a good position either. Actually, really, I'd say Team Liquid aren't in a great spot too. Everyone's open here. If you have cars, great, you can set them up, but Gemty's already spotted out Scoom on the move.
I honestly think Winstrike could potentially get to this crate and put a vehicle by the side of it.
They could, yeah.
It will give them something.
It's better than nothing. Yeah.
And if they get in front of Team Liquid...
Oh, they pulled up on Gemty. Oh, don't pull up on Gemty. Shiv. Oh, dear, look at these dirty little nades. He's just dropping out, baiting them forward. Oh, this is rude, if anything. He's just been putting down utility, buying time. All he has to do is buy time. That's it.
Scoom does have a nade, though.
Can he get it through that window when it's smoked up? I don't think so. Gemty's being a pain in the arse. He's got a bit of elevation here so he can see if players run into that smoke. Team Liquid on the play. James is trying to help out Gemty. He's going to probably just slide that car up. And oh, no! What is that nade? What just happened? I said he just got shit with a nade.
He tried going for the window, what you mentioned, and missed it.
Oh god, he almost killed himself with it. Do you think it was a smoke? I don't know what's happened there, but it's not good. Rafi Scoom. Haxedi Gemty now shows face. James turns up. He's feeling more bold. The next nade comes in from Haxedi, but in the meantime, look at Jorski. Finds his way forward. We've got heals going on. This is madness over here.
Yeah, they're taking the time and basically using the time that they've been given to get inside the circle and reposition. All of Liquid have committed to this one. Ibi will be able to watch the backlines and hold a hard angle on Rafi, who's up against the blue. Blaston's extended also from his teammate to try and get involved in this one. See if he can get an easy pick, an easy knock, an easy point. And honestly, both Reciprocity and Unity need every single point they can get.
Rafi is down. Oh, I thought he might have had a second or two to move forward. Scoom's now in that hard position to actually do the same. He has to make the run. Damn, he does steal that one. Ibi's prone down by the car. He can stay alive. The car could blow up, could be an issue, but I want to see that Haxedi, Scoom, James, Gemty battle, because look at Blaston, look at Tizerin. They're all moving in on this as well. That southern side is just, that bubbling point. Everyone's dying to get on this. Once those smokes dissipate, it's game over. Ibi's still safe. Jorski in a good position. This is absolutely terrifying.
And this is a third party. Tizerin's turned up to the grenade action. And wants to get involved himself.
Here come the nades.
Yeah, they're all in hand. Just got to be careful. And
wait, James on Scoom?
He hit the car. The car took him out.
Scoom and vehicle lock has never been a thing, but look at Haxedi. They don't know he's there. They're going to find out. Wait, James? James had no idea. He was completely unaware. That's a flush. That's some points. Haxedi waited so long.
It's something. Go on, finish him off. Rush him. Rush him. Doesn't work. Unfortunately, Liquid, they keep on going. And while all this has been going on and brewing, do not forget, Winstrike made it into the circle. This was basically a godsend for them.
Gemty needs to hit one of the big boy shots here, and he's got one of the players, I think, pushing. Yeah, Tizerin's next to him, though. Oh my god, here's the third party. Look at this support system coming in. Teme almost helped out Liquid there and didn't even know about it. Unity have dealt with Gemty though. We still have Ibi alive. He moved early with the car. I think Winstrike know roughly where he is because they shot up the car. But Unity aren't in a bad spot, but the problem is how do they step forward? They're not in the new circle yet.
They'll be held at gunpoint.
Is that 15 times we just saw, by the way?
There was one earlier on in a crate. I did cop for one.
I think it's on one of the... it's either Jorski or Teme who has it.
Well, they must have taken the crate, so one of those will have level 3 gear fully.
It's
because
Teme,
there was a crate directly in front of them. They were gifted it, essentially.
Yep.
Tizerin will just continue to build himself a little bit of a fortification and pick up any much-needed meds, broken, bent gear, bullets, bandages, whatever you can do at this stage.
No smokes for Tizerin, though. So
6 kills, though. Good effort.
He's had a cracking game. Might be time to drop the bag. Let's have a look. Right, nade from Ibby. It's time to look at our options. Look at the lines on this map. Now, Winstrike actually have a way forward in the essence of the fact that they have that little bit of cover, those bushes, that run right to the middle. Yep. If we looked at the overview really quick, now Tizerin does have nades. Ibby has nothing. You look at the meds, very little to work with. He's stimmed up. This is his one shot. Winstrike should play this just slow, calm, collected. They need to be careful. They need to be meticulous. And they need to check everything here.
Tizerin might soon get the audible connection and potentially hear Ibiza moving. They are moving at different angles. Okay, they're all going towards the middle, but Ibby's further away, so it's a slow approach, and I think all 4 players are basically just going to snake. You can't stand up at this point.
No,
If you stand up, you're asking to die.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of who sees who first.
Tizerin should see Ibby soon, surely.
I don't know if he will. This is close. This is very close. When you're prone down and I see Why, please? Thank you. Yeah, this is what I was talking about with the lines that run up. So Winstrike can get pretty much central. That's just Randy nade time. Just hoping for the best. It's, battleships over here. You're just...
That's all it is.
Hoping for a hit. Now, the problem for Ibby eventually is he has no ground to cover from, so it's literally the fields of wheat for Theresa May out there. And then the rest, well, Tizerin's right on the blue, so he might actually have to get up and move soon just because he's so close to it.
I'm surprised that throwing so many towards the middle, you'd have to suspect that players are playing edge at this point and snaking edge. It just becomes the waiting game. Tizerin gets tickled by the blue. And that's going to be bad in the long game, actually, Lauren, because he now can no longer med. Yes. And he's only got a little bit of stim left. He's going to be going into this final circle with low HP. That's dangerous.
He's so close to Jorski. They are so close to each other. You actually might see him here, depending on the timing. Jorski is going to be the first potential target. Ibby's taking his time. It might be Tizerin. Yeah, there we go, Tizerin. Oh, he's found one. This could be devastating for Winstrike. That's going to be flushed as well. That's a flush coming through, so they know where Tizerin is. Ibby's slowly creeping and crawling his way forward.
Triple threat.
But now Ibby's about to be crawled up on by Teme. Depending on where he looks, Ibby's, I think, might have seen him. Blue's on his back. He's got to move up here. Ibby, you've got to get up. You've got to move forward. He knows he has to. It's spray time. Winstrike go down. It's Ibby against Tizerin. Oh, Tizerin does it.
Unity. Snaky, snaky, snaky. Back-to-back kills gives them a win at the end of the day. They need as many points as humanly possible. I think 8 kills for Tizerin on his own